a flood warning has been issued for people living close to the Jukskei River in Alexandra, that's in Johannesburg. Continuous heavy rain has caused flooding and damage to infrastructure in low-lying areas. For a quick update, let's bring in Robert Mulaudzi, who's the spokesperson for Johannesburg EMS, that's the Emergency Services. And Robert, it's great to have you on the program. Thank you so much indeed for making time for us at a time which I have no doubt you're quite busy yourself. Perhaps let's begin with what you can tell us about the situation specifically along this river.
Yes, we can confirm that last night about 11 people were evacuated from the two houses which are along the Jukskei river stream because the water levels were much more higher. So in the process we had to evacuate them for safety reasons. They were moved to the higher ground so that we can be able to prevent further incidents which might occur in the area. So we are not only concerned about the area of Sweta. We've got a lot of areas in the city, and mostly our informal settlements, areas like Deep Sloot, Kaya Sand, and also Kliptown, which are most of our residents are in low-lying areas, and the water levels are much more higher in those areas. So we're making sure that we are assessing those areas to make sure that if there are people who needs to be evacuated, we can also actually be able to do so. Hence, when we get an opportunities like this, we're urging all our residents in those areas to make sure that they monitor water levels and move to the higher ground, so that we can prevent further incidents which might occur, since we are told that we're still going to get a lot of rainfall throughout this week.
Right. And areas like Sweta always become a point of focus around a time when we have heavy rains because of just the difficulties of living in that place. I mean, given the work you've been able to do, Robert, is that a place that should be habited by people who have residential areas? In other words, is that a place conducive to houses, especially given the threats that, are posed to people there when it rains?
Yes, it's not really an ideal place. Hence, I said earlier on that if you look at most of our informal settlements are, within the flood line, which becomes dangerous when we've got severe thunderstorms like the ones we're living now. So that area, it is dangerous because every time when we have a rainfall for a day, the water level rises and then the residents are in danger. So that is also concerning to the other areas which we have throughout the city of Johannesburg. Unfortunately, as emergency services, we have to make sure that the residents are informed as and when we have, severe thunderstorms. We train them about, disaster preparedness, evacuation drills, so that as and when we have severe thunderstorms, they're able to evacuate as quickly as possible.
Let's speak about these other areas that you're concerned about. So obviously, not only Sweta in Alexandra, but I imagine several other areas in Alexandra. I was there myself yesterday, and there were real causes for concern. But you've mentioned other places in the city. Which areas are those? Yes,
we've got areas like Deep Sloot, we've got areas like Kaya Sand, we've got areas like Kliptown. And so those areas, we have got river streams which are cutting across these areas. And also, and our other concern is that we've got young kids now who are at home, school holidays. Most of them, they might be tempted to go and play next to these areas. So we're still concerned about the number of drowning incidents which we might have to attend to because of, young kids might be tempted to play next to this area. So our message to parents and adults out there is to let's monitor young kids to stay away from this area so that we can be able to prevent drowning incidents which might occur. And of course, our motorists, as and when they drive, there might be areas which might be flooded right now because of the rainfalls which we have had, is to try and avoid crossing those areas so that we can be able to prevent incidents which might occur.
Another annual discussion we have around this time is to do with the drainage system in the city. Again, yes. Given your being on the ground, so to speak, are you finding that this is improving at all?
Yes, it is improving, but however, we do still have challenges in terms of the other areas which we still find that when we have rainfalls, we normally have drowning. I mean, we've got areas like along Klep Valley Road in Soweto, just next to that vehicle dealership. our motorists, they know that every time when we have rainfalls there, it normally floods. Along New Canada Road, just after the New Canada Railway Station, our motorists are aware that that area, most of the time when we have severe thunderstorms, it floods. So our motorists are mostly aware of the areas which might be dangerous. Hence, we say, please, if you find out that the road is closed, don't remove the barricades. Instead, use the alternative routes so that we can be able to prevent further incidents which might occur.
Yeah. How possible is it, Robert, again, you know, from the line of work that you've been able to do, to actually permanently relocate people? Because I know, again, with the issue in Alexandra, what officials have found is that even if you remove people from the banks of the Jukskei River, in a matter of days, if not hours, other people are there setting up shop, setting up their homes.
Yes, you correctly said that, because even if you look at it straight like this, the residents were removed and moved to the higher ground some few years ago. But we still have challenges that after some time, the residents will actually go back again and build again. Hence, we said earlier that from our side, our task is to make sure that our residents are informed about, empowered as to what is it that they can do when we have situations like this. We have also installed some automatic rainfall systems there, and over and above to assist us, to disseminate information to not only the residents in Stratla area, but Kaya Sand, Deep Slot, Kliptown, and the other areas, to make sure that when we have information about flood warnings and severe thunderstorms, we're able to also disseminate information for evacuation purposes in those areas. So those automatic rainfall systems are also assisting us to make sure that we disseminate those information, and also we evacuate our residents as and when it's required.
Yeah. Let's speak about capacity for EMS before I let you go, Robert. I mean, it is December time. Mostly people are away. I know the line of work you do means that this is when you're actually most busy in some respects. How are we doing capacity-wise to respond to this increase in demand for help?
Yes, the good part is that most of our members, including myself, they are not on leave. We are working throughout the holiday season. So all our 30 fire stations throughout the city of Johannesburg are fully operational. We've got all our members on board working throughout the holiday season. So we should be able to respond to all the emergencies which might occur throughout the city. We've got our specialized teams, mainly our swift water rescue unit, which is very much busy during this time of the year, because we've got a lot of rainfalls which we are receiving throughout the city. So these men and women are skilled in terms of responding to water-related emergencies and drowning incidents. So we should be able to respond to all the emergencies which might occur throughout the city of Johannesburg this holiday season. So we urging all our residents to work with us so that we can be able to celebrate the coming year safely and enjoy our holiday season.
Robert Mulaudzi, thanks for the good work that you continue to do. Robert Mulaudzi is the spokesperson for EMS in Johannesburg.